Now, to discuss this further, we're now joined by Mr. Syed Javed Hassan, economic columnist and former chairman of Economic Advisory Group, joining us live from London. Welcome to the broadcast, sir.
Thank you very much for having me on.
Now, sir, what will be the economic impact of the new tax proposals that the Pakistan government intends to introduce?
Well, they will be harsh on the middle classes, the upper middle classes as well. Mainly the people who are affected most by this latest set of taxes are the salaried class and the businesses. What is worth noting is that the salaried class will be paying an extra 2.5% on their incomes, anyone who's earning more than 2 lakh rupees a month. Also, businesses will be continuing to pay a super tax, which is an extra 7.5% to 10% in terms of corporate taxation. There's also, for the general public, inflationary measures of increasing by 10 rupees per litre the tax on fuel. So we are seeing a greater burden of taxation to be faced by the public, but more so by the middle classes, the salaried classes, and the corporate businesses.
Right, so in fact, I was just going to come to this. A lot of social welfare schemes may have to be cut down in order to appease the IMF's conditions as well. So what do you think will be the socio-political impact of that on Pakistan's common man?
I think in fairness, IMF is insisting that the social welfare programs are not cut down. If anything, they are looking for some increments in the social welfare programs. Nevertheless, given the inflation, there will be an impact on the social welfare programs, given that the increments will be less than the inflation. So I think all of this will mean a greater level of poverty. There'll be, as we have seen, an increased joblessness. Unofficial estimates of joblessness run into 11%. The official numbers are closer to 7%. So greater difficulty for the masses. Unemployment is going up. Also, job creation is suffering. As we know, in the outgoing year, the growth rate officially was only about 0.5%. Many analysts contend that it is actually a contraction of economy by something like 0.5%. So we are seeing a number of factors happening together: inflation, slowdown in growth, as well as greater unemployment. So you can imagine all the socio-economic impacts are quite negative for the public.
Right, sir. Now, Pakistan goes to poll this year, and ensuring economic growth will be a priority for the Shehbaz Sharif government. However, that may clash with the IMF's various conditionalities here. So what can the Pakistan government do to maintain this rather difficult balancing act?
Look, there is very little choice Pakistan has at this moment but to accept some of the harsh realities that IMF conditionalities bring. Without IMF on board, Pakistan faces the worst prospect of defaulting. If that should happen, there will be no growth at all. So I think while the government is in a difficult situation, it cannot avoid listening to IMF and trying to incorporate them and bring them on board. So yes, I think the government is facing difficulties, but it is just as much in a position where it needs to have IMF on board. Without that, there's the dreadful prospect of defaulting to external debt.
Right. Well, Mr. Syed Javed Hassan, thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast with your insights on this.
Thank you very much.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.